Hello my yogi friends and welcome to day 6 of our 7-day yoga journey, Soften. We're gonna be as soft as rabbit's fur. So, welcome to day 6. I'm very excited. Today we're gonna drop from a more active, basically a yang yoga practice, so very fast and strong movements, into a quieter place, into yin yoga practice. If you've never done yin yoga before, that's completely fine. You're in for a treat, but it's gonna be challenging. This time not physically, it's more mentally challenging, because we're gonna move through just a couple of postures and we will stay quite a while in each posture. That's why it's gonna be a little bit more work for the brain rather than the body. So let's get started as always with a little pranayama breathing technique. So sit cross-legged. We start with Nadi Shodhana. Feel free as always to pop anything underneath the buttocks if you want to lift the hips slightly, otherwise lengthen through the neck, and you can leave the gaze soft for this one or close your eyes. And if there's any kind of blockage today in your nose, you feel a little bit sick, feel free to just visualize the practice. Otherwise, we bring the index finger and middle finger right towards the eyebrow center, the third eye center. Have the ring finger gently rest on the left nostril, thumb gently rest on the right nostril, both nostrils still open. Take a synchronizing inhale into both nostrils. Exhale out through both. Big inhale once again into both nostrils. And then close up the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale into the left nostril. Open the right. Close up the left nostril. Exhale right. Inhale right nostril. Open the left, close the right, exhale left. So that was one round here. We do one more together. Inhale into the left nostril. Open the right, close up the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Open left, close up right, exhale left. So second round here. Continue now in your own pace, just for a couple of rounds more. Alternating left and right nostril, and always starting with the exhalation first and then let the inhalation follow, and switch. So maybe my instructions were a bit too slow or a bit too quick for you. Just in your own time here. We might do 2 or 3 more cycles here. It's a beautiful practice to balance both hemispheres of the brain and also to bring us into the present moment. Keep going through it. And then take your last round here. We will finish with an exhalation through the left nostril. So next time you exhale through the left, just release the right hand back down. And we take a couple of nice juicy breaths in and out through both nostrils. And take an inhale here to lift the shoulders up towards the ears, relax them back down, just rotating the shoulders a couple of times. And while you do so, you might slowly want to blink open the eyes. Doing those shoulder circuits just because we were holding up the arm for a little bit. Can make the neck sometimes slightly tense. And from here we move into our first yin posture. And this is where you might maybe want to stop the video for a second, because we might need some props. So you can gather a pillow or cushion, a blanket, if you have a yoga block or a Harry Potter book, whatever you need here. If you're a super flexible person, feel free to not use any props at all. Otherwise, it's really nice to be a bit supported here so we can really soften into the pose. So we will start. We will bring the feet forward like in our Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, but rather than having the feet close to the groin, we will bring them a bit further away so that we have like a diamond shape in our legs. And this is where we might use our props here. You can bring a block or blanket underneath the knees. If you know, holding this posture for a while can be quite intense for your hips. Or you can even use a blanket and wrap it around the feet. That's one of my favorite because it also slightly holds the hips or the knees up. So that's a nice option. And then we can prop anything in front of us with a little prop tower basically. Like I said, any kind of cushion or pillows, or if you even have a couple of couch cushions next to you, just grab some of those, whatever feels good to support you here. Then we will just walk the hands forward and find as always our edge. So you might be here, maybe it's already intense for your hips here. Maybe you're super soft and you're laying with your forehead on your heels. So your choice here. I'm going to make a little bit of a support for my forehead. That's a nice option too. And then just find a position where you can really relax the shoulders, the arms, the fingertips. And then we begin to soften. So that's what today is all about. Breathing, softening into the posture. So we will stay here for a couple of minutes, so take your time getting here. And just to let you know as well, in our yin postures, usually we soften more over time, but also it can become more intense, like the stretch sometimes can become more intense. So if you're already in this pose and you feel a ginormous sensation around the hips, the inner groin, the knees, maybe back off a little bit. There's always the option to go deeper during the pose, but we don't want to go too deep from the start. So it's set, it's perfect to maybe go 70% of your stretchiness basically. So if you know your full stretch would be here, we just stay a little bit further up basically. But still trying to soften wherever we are, supported by our props. And then just do a little body scan here. How does this posture feel? So there are heaps of spots basically where we can feel sensations in this so-called butterfly pose in yin yoga or Baddha Konasana in our normal yoga practice. So you might want to start at your feet and ankles, feel into any sensations there. Then moving along the legs, might feel any sensations here in your shins or calves. It's very likely here that you feel maybe even a bit of a strain in the knee. So it's always okay to feel like some weird sensation, if that makes sense, like some dull or stretchy sensations. But we never want to feel this pinchy kind of sensation we have when we twist a nerve or something. So it shouldn't be painful, but there can be quite a sensation that is unpleasant basically. From the sensations in your knees, move into the thighs and the hips. So you might feel it on the outside of the hips or even on your inner thighs or back of the legs. You might feel some sensations in your buttocks, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back in between the shoulder blades. Maybe even a sensation in the back of the neck if you really relaxed forward. So heaps of spots here. Maybe even some sensations around the kidneys. So just being aware of what's happening, what's coming up here for you in your physical body to start with. And then as always in our yin poses, we want to breathe deep. So here you might want to breathe into the spot where you feel the sensation the strongest, maybe in your hips or thighs. What's also nice in this one to breathe into the lower or upper back. So really feeling this nice stretch on the inhalation, guiding the breath, the prana, the energy towards those spots. And eventually on the exhale you can release a bit more, soften more through the hips, through the shoulders, through the muscles in the face. Really breathing super deep here. And this is eventually slowly the spot where it becomes challenging for your mind. Because slowly maybe the sensations in your physical body become quite strong and your mind tells you, oh, this is slowly unpleasant. I want to move out of this posture. This is where we learn to be patient, to be strong, telling ourselves we can stay longer. We can make it, we can stay longer. Often we give up too early. So just take a couple of more breaths here, trying to breathe into the spots that are tense, using the exhale to release, to soften. And all those sensations might also feel different compared to your regular stretches. That is because we're not only working on the level of the skin or the muscles, which we do in our regular stretches. In yin, because we stay so long, we work deeper. We even work into the ligaments and tendons, bones, and the fascia, which is the web that connects basically everything in our muscle with each other. So yin yoga really helps to get flexibility back into the fascia here basically, which is super important because fascia becomes harder, less flexible when we get older. So a yin yoga practice really helps us to stay mobile till we're old basically. So last 2 breaths here, you can do this. Keep breathing. Keep softening. Saying to yourself, you can do this last breath. And then we move super slow in between our postures when we transition today. So slowly walk your fingertips back up. And we take our props out to the side and simply come to lay on our backs. So stretch the legs long. Come to lay down on your back, arms by your side. And just feel into those sensations here in the legs. We have created a lot of energy here in the outside and the inside of the thighs. You might even feel it in your calves. So I can feel quite a lot of tingling here, almost starting at the lower back, going into the buttocks, into the legs. Just feeling those super, super awesome sensations here. Taking a couple of deep breaths into the belly. Ah, so good for the body. And then from there we're going to bring the feet onto the ground. Take a couple of windshield wiper movements with the knees left to right. Just to get some movement back into the hips. Then bring your knees into the chest, give them a little hug. Maybe you want to rock left to right just for a couple of breaths if you're very prone to lower back issues. And then we rock over to one side, find our way into a tabletop. Coming into our next posture, moving into Anahata Asana, heart to earth pose. So make sure you wriggle right to the end of the mat with your toes. And then we start to walk the hands forward, forehead to the ground. Or maybe if you can't reach the ground with your forehead, coming onto your Harry Potter book, your block. And then this can be quite intense for the shoulders for many people. Then just bring your elbows a bit wider, bring your palms together. And we're not going to stay quite as long here like in butterfly, but at least like, let's say 8 to 10 breaths. So surrendering the forehead to the ground. And then keep breathing here. Keep softening through the belly, through the chest, through the shoulders. Such an awesome opening here for the shoulders and armpits. And really feeling this nice sensation here in between the shoulder blades. Really breathing into chest and belly. So we often tend to draw the navel in, make sure our belly is nice and flat. Not in this one, keep it dropping. Might feel quite a couple of nice sensations here in your lower back. If it becomes too strong, tuck the tailbone under slightly, otherwise we're absolutely softening to the front. Take a last 4 breaths here, really big breath. Last breath. From there, really slowly transitioning once again, coming back up, walking back into tabletop. We bring the knees wide, and just as a little counter pose, come to sit on the heels. First lengthen through the spine, giving the spine the time to come into its neutral position before we move into a child's pose for a second here. Again, relaxing the forehead to the ground, feeling these nice sensations in your lower back. Big counter stretch. Awesome opportunity here to rock the head from left to right. So not only softening through the body, also softening through the thoughts. Let them all go. Releasing them into the yoga mat. Really being here in the now. Being present in your body with your sensations. From there we slowly bring the gaze back up Find our way back into tabletop and move into another little hip stretch. We already visited this one this week, coming into our lizard posture. So we bring both hands on the inside of the left foot, and then we can creep the left foot further out to the side to create some more space here, and this time really softening again. So we're not engaging as we usually do our inner thighs, we're really softening down. And you might not even be on your hands, completely fine to stay here, working on this big stretch in the front of the right thigh and the left hip, left inner thigh. You can use again any kind of props, maybe your cushion, maybe your block, coming onto this. If you feel, oh, my 70%, there's still quite a bit space till I reach those, you can come onto your forearms, or of course you can just come onto your forearms down to the ground. If it feels better in your hip, you can even come onto the outside edge of the left foot. And then we breathe once again. Right leg is long, left hip is soft. Try to soften through the shoulders and the neck. I know it's a bit hard when we're leaning all our body weight on it, but we can try. And once again, because this is a hip stretch, it can be really quite mind challenging. But just let any kind of thoughts that pop up go. So Yin Yoga is a very good option to teach yourself some mindfulness. So not only being with your breath, being in your body in the present moment, but also being mindful of your thoughts. So this is one of the postures where you quite quickly, I guess, will experience a point where you feel like you want to go out of the posture, where you feel consumed by physical sensations in your left hip or right leg, where you might feel consumed by any thoughts about this or anything else. Maybe you're completely in the mindset, oh, I have to get out of this now, otherwise something bad's gonna happen. But this is now here where we can train our mindfulness. So be aware of those thoughts, and rather than following with action as we normally do, mindfulness is about allowing those thoughts. Of course they come up, we can't control that, but then simply let them go again. So we just let it go. So any thoughts, any tension, taking a big inhale to breathe into wherever you feel some tensions here, some sensations in the body, and then exhale, let the tension go, soften further, let the thoughts go, whichever ones pop up. So not immediately starting to take action, being mindful, being in the present moment, being with your breath, being with all the sensations. So a very good example is if we feel, for example, an itch somewhere, usually our mind basically detects, oh, there's something itchy, and we straight away start to scratch. Mindfulness is basically trying to stop you there. So instead of feeling, getting the thought and reacting, we feel, we get the thought, so we still get the itch, or is here the sensations, or the thought, oh, this posture is maybe a bit unpleasant. And rather than reacting, quickly moving out of the posture, moving onto the couch, watching a movie, we stay We keep breathing, using the exhale to let the thought go. Just accepting what is. 3 more deep breaths here. And then last inhale. And on the exhale, we slowly really take your time here. Make our way into a tabletop position. Taking the first moment here to just feel into any kind of sensations around the shoulders, around the legs. You might feel some kind of tingling sensation, or for me it often feels even like almost like a cool breath, like a kind of a cooling feeling getting out of a stretch. So whatever comes up for you, just being aware. And then we can move into some wiggles, moving the hips left to right, drawing circles with hips and shoulders. Can move into a couple of cat-cows, nice for hips and shoulders as well. Or even, if you fancy, press up into a downward facing dog. One more big breath cycle here, wherever you are. And then into the other side, stepping the right foot forward. Once again, check in here first. Where is your 70% edge? Can be here, can be on your hands, can be on your block. Maybe it's different compared to the other side. That's completely fine, absolutely normal. Maybe even on your block like this. Maybe on your forearms. And then eventually coming onto the outside edge of the right foot. And start to sink in, start to soften, relaxing the neck, the shoulders. Maybe giving the jaw a little wiggle. Releasing, softening any tension in the face. Tap into a little inner smile. Enjoying this beautiful, absolutely intense deep stretch here. And then just stick with it. Guiding the breath into the spots where you can feel the sensation, using the exhale to soften. Using the exhale to release thoughts. Using the exhale to release feelings. Take 5 more big juicy breaths here. Eventually you can soften even further. Last 2 breaths, make them the deepest and the longest yet. Then slowly coming back up, wiggling all the way into tabletop. Moving the pop. First 2 breaths here as always. Feeling into any kind of sensations. Feeling the energy in the hips and legs. The prana we created. And then snuggle your way into some movements. Whatever feels nice. Maybe shake the head a little bit, or the hips. And then it's already time for our last posture. Wiggle the legs around, coming to lay on our backs. So our last posture will be one of our beautiful twists. So we don't need any props for this one. Just bring our arms by our side, bend the knees, wiggle the hips slightly over to the right, let the knees fall over to the left. And here the gaze can be straight up towards the ceiling, or you can look over to your right hand, whatever feels nice. If you want this little bit of extra, you can extend through the right leg, so reaching the right leg long. And you can also explore where you want to put your knees. You can bring them a bit further up, so the stretch moves slightly further up the spine, or you can bring them further down if something is dodgy in your lower back, whatever feels good. And the same with the direction of the palms, so they can face up towards the ceiling, or you can press them down towards the ground. Just snuggling your way into your perfect position. And then we stay, we try not to move, but we breathe. Deep, deep breath into the belly or chest. And here you can already close your eyes. That's a nice thing to do anyway, every time in our yin practice, so we get less distracted. We can stay more focused on ourselves, our sensations, and anything that's happening. Try to soften through the legs and shoulders. Completely relaxed here. So if you have only time for one yoga posture every day, I think a twist is what I would go for, or downward facing dog. Hard choice. Such a hard life. Take 3 more breaths here. Big full breath. And then slowly we bring the knees back into the center. Top leg comes in. Stretch the leg long just for a moment here, just to feel to any kind of sensations once again in the legs, or even in your belly. And always taking this time in between as well to just realign the spine to its straight and neutral position. And then bend the knees. We wiggle the hips over to the left just a bit, and knees come over to the right. Option here to extend the left leg and bring the gaze over to the left hand. Soften through shoulders and hips. Just relaxing here. It's almost like a mini shavasana. We don't really have to hold anything. The stretch shouldn't be too strong. Just breathing deeply and enjoying. But reminder, stay with us. Don't let your thoughts let you carry away. So don't you dare moving back to your to-do list or any other thing that keeps your mind busy currently. Take a big inhale, exhale, let it go. Not gonna be here much longer, so stick with us, please. You can do it. I always feel yin yoga is almost like a moving meditation, even though we're not moving a lot. I think you know what I mean. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me talking gibberish. Last breath here. And then take your time, bring your knees back up, moving into Shavasana. So extend your legs long. Take any kind of props. I mean, we already had heaps here today, so you might as well use a pillow for underneath the head or a blanket to cover yourself up if it's cold where you are. And then just find a comfortable position for your feet, your hands, and relax. Observing the flow of the breath in and out of the body. And completely softening here, releasing, relaxing, letting the body become heavy and soft. And then as always, I will leave you here now. You can stay however long you like. And I'm just bringing my thumbs towards my third eye. So I'm really proud of you for being open to this practice today, regarding the fact that it has been such a change compared to our first 5 days. Being open in case that was your first yin yoga practice. You did awesome. I know it's a very tricky, very challenging one, and I think you did great. So I hope to see you tomorrow for our last day. It's crazy, that went so quick. So see you hopefully tomorrow. Thank you so much, and namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day, my lovely friends.